Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिमित् कृपातमवदे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः हरे कृष्ण एवरीवन दंडवत प्रणाम welcome everyone thank you so much for joining uh, I'll share my screen and we'll start from where Mataji has left yesterday. So we'll just pick up from there itself. Mm. Just try. I pray that whatever I say is in the parampara. It helps me in my purification. It's pleasing to everyone and useful, beneficial for everyone. With these prayers, I start. I hope it is visible, right? The screen is visible, is it?
Hare Krishna, yes, Mataji.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. We have to start from here. If one is not jealous. Mataji covered up to this paragraph yesterday. The word kala means jealous, right? Yes, please. Would someone like to read this? If one is not jealous?
I'll read Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Yes, please, Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. If one is not jealous, one can serve Krishna very well because jealousy and envy begin with being jealous of Krishna. For example, some philosophers think, why should Krishna be God? I'm also God. This is the beginning of material life to be envious of Krishna. Why should Krishna be the enjoyer? They think, I shall also be the enjoyer. Why should Krishna enjoy the gopis? I shall become Krishna and make a society of gopis and enjoy. This is Maya. No one but Krishna can be the enjoyer. Krishna therefore says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram Yagna, I am the only enjoyer. If we supply ingredients for Krishna's enjoyment, we attain the perfection of life. But if we want to imitate Krishna, thinking I shall become God and enjoy like him, then we are in the Maya. Our natural position is to provide enjoyment for Krishna. In the spiritual world, for example, Krishna enjoys, and the gopis, the transcendental cowherd girls, supply the ingredients for Krishna's enjoyment. This is bhakti. Bhakti is a relationship between master and servant. The servant's duty is to serve the master, and the master supplies whatever the servant needs. Um, do I continue, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, please continue up to here.
Nityo Nitya. Okay. Nityo Nityanam Chetanam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidahati Kaman.
Hmm.
The Vedic literature informs us that Krishna can supply all the necessities for one's life. There is no scarcity, no economic problem. We simply have to try to serve Krishna and then everything will be complete. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. So we'll take it paragraph by paragraph. So yesterday also we discussed, Mataji had mentioned, the various stages were there with respect to jealousy, enviousness. Mataji had covered that. So what is mentioned here is, if one is not jealous, then one can serve Krishna very well, right? Because jealousy and envy begin with being jealous of Krishna. So there is a difference between jealousy and enviousness. Or what is mentioned here, that The beginning is enviousness, for everything. Because for what do the people think? Why should Krishna be God? I would like to be God, right? So what do the other people think about when we talk about the Mayavadis and personalists? That uh, why should Krishna be God? Right? This is the beginning of the material enviousness, material life to be envious of Krishna. So aham brahmasmi, right? So there the people like Mayavadis, they have different philosophies, isn't it? Like, for example, when we talk about jealousy and enviousness, so what do you feel? What could be the difference between jealousy and enviousness, according to you? Or if you would like to share your thoughts, then I'll pick it up. Yes, please. What do you feel? Like, what could be the reason? Okay. So, basically, with respect to jealousy and Hare Krishna Mataji, yes, please. Yes,
I think
Mataji,
one is
please.
if that one is having something, why not I can have something better than that?
Exactly, right. Thank you for sharing that, Mataji. So, you know what happens when we say, okay, a person is jealous of someone or a person is envious? So, enviousness is something. Why are we here in this material world? Because we wanted to enjoy like Lord Krishna. We wanted to have everything like Lord Krishna. Whenever there is that comparison, a person starts comparing himself that why I am not having that particular thing which the other person is enjoying. Did you notice? The comparison is only there for the things which are being possessed by the other person, not the things which he is lacking. And here, uh, in case if we talk about the comparison, the material world, this is with respect to people, right? But here itself, when we talk about enviousness, what is happening? We are envious of Krishna. We wanted to enjoy like the Lord. And that is the reason why we have this material world prepared for us. That is Lord's mercy only. Because we were like, oh, we also want to enjoy like Krishna. Why is it that we are only serving, right? So they think I shall also be the enjoyer. Why the Lord should only enjoy with the gopis? And all these are transcendental subjects. So that is the reason where we have this particular enviousness is coming. So it is also mentioned, no? So there are these six things. A person when he gets rid of all these six things, what is that? Kama, Krodha, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya. So Matsarya is the enviousness here. So when we talk about lust, anger, greed, Kam, Krodha, Lobh, Moh, illusion, mad, madness, intoxication, and then Matsarya, enviousness. When a living entity is freed from all these six, then only a person becomes eligible, a living entity becomes qualified to go back to Godhead and serve the Lord, and to serve the eternal and to engage himself in the eternal service of the Lord. So, and not only that, in enviousness, jealousy, what happens? A person does not like the other person is having something in jealousy. But jealousy could be of two types, positive and negative, because positive jealousy or spiritual jealousy is good. That, okay, why that person is able to do the seva, I would also like to do that, That ways the person is getting that inspiration. But what happens in enviousness? Why is that particular person having this? He wants to pull the other person down. In one of these articles, I read a story wherein there was a person and he was a very poor person. And he was not able to meet his ends, and he was not able to earn for his family. He was not able to provide for his family. So one day he went to the forest. He was sitting there, and so the forest, spirit. So the forest spirit, he suddenly noticed that there was a sound, that was Akashvani kind of a thing that was happening. There was a sound in the sky, and he heard that wherein the spirit says, okay, I would like to fulfill all your needs. Whatever you wish, I will fulfill it because I see that you are a very poor man. You're not able to help your family. So let me try to help you. But there is a condition. Whatever I will try to do for you, whichever wish I will fulfill for you, I will fulfill the same wish for your neighbor as well, but I will double the amount, you know. So he said, okay, fine, that is fine with me. So he was very happy. He went home and then he made a wish. Dear forest spirit, I would like to have, since we have this is the, we are so many people, I would like to have a big house, and his wish was granted. So he got a big house and he felt so happy. And then uh, the next day when he was going to his field, he saw a very big house. His house was big, so his neighbor's house was very big. Huge house he saw, and so he felt, I'm happy for you. That was his statements. I'm feeling happy for you. And he went to his field. So what was their mind? What was the thing that was lingering into his mind now when while he was working in the field? That his neighbor doesn't have to work anymore. Did you notice the change? So what was going on? The consciousness, how it gets affected. The person is not engaged. He's not concerned with the things, with his, I mean, with respect to his own material pleasure, but how I can, I mean, obviously he's not interested in his own this thing, but at the same moment, how to drag that particular person down. So what was going on in his mind? He felt, okay, now my neighbor doesn't have to work anymore. So whatever wish I'm going to seek, if it is fulfilled, then ultimately he will also get the benefit. But anyways, that happened. Then he came back, and then later he made a again he requested. So he made a wish. He said, "Okay, I would like to have a big, huge field. The crop for the since he was a farmer, he wanted a very huge, a big, large field. His wish was granted. So ultimately, what could have happened? Yes, please. What could have happened? Like his wish was granted.
Nothing was growing in that, or maybe there was
No,
a
no, it was like in case if it was 100 acres, so it doubled, for his neighbor. The field
yeah.
size, Mataji, it increased. Now the
Uh,
only thing he was concerned when he saw that okay, his neighbor's field is also growing. So now he was like, okay, good for him. I mean, he felt that good for him. So his feelings are also changing, towards his neighbor. Ultimately he did not ask for anything. He did not make any wish, for the next week. He was just thinking about what kind of a wish I should ask, because he had requested for a house. A huge house is there now, the fields are also there, and now he's troubled because he's not thinking about his own happiness. He's thinking about the neighbor becoming very happy, materially, becoming very prosperous. So what he did, he went to the spirit. He went to the forest, he went to that particular tree, and he said, okay, forest spirit, this is a little different kind of a request, but I would like you to take off one of my eyes. This is my wish. So, and he agreed, the tree wished, the tree granted his wish. And what happened? He came back to see for his neighbor whether he has become blind or not. So, did you see the irony? Like, this is the nature of the person. And this is what happens when we talk about enviousness. The person is really not concerned about himself. The person is jealous. The person goes up to that level, up to that stage of enviousness wherein he wishes bad, he wishes ill for the other person. And that is the reason, it's difficult to become very, we are so polluted, we are so contaminated. And that is why it is mentioned whenever we try to see what we should see in others, how can we get rid of enviousness? That is the key thing. How can we get rid of it? We can only get rid of it when we start seeing good in others, and when we start appreciating the good qualities in others, automatically we will also imbibe those good qualities. So it is always mentioned how we can purify our consciousness by just ignoring all the bad qualities of a person, because every person is different, right? And every person is having beautiful good qualities in them. And every person has different skills also. So we should always try to learn new things from them. We should try to appreciate them. And when we are doing that, there is a very beautiful thing which I heard in one of the lectures of Her Grace Tatai Sevani Mataji. that when you have a basket and it is full of feathers, you keep on putting the feathers in it, what will happen? You will have a beautiful basket full of feathers. But if you have some rotten apples or rotten fruits and you keep putting the same thing in that, you will have a basket which will be dirty, stinking, etc. Kind of a thing. So we want a basket which is full of fragrance, around us, which is ultimately going to purify our consciousness. And when this starts happening, what we would see, we would only notice when we will start noticing all the good things. Then ultimately we will come to the realization that whatever Lord Krishna is doing, He is doing good for us. And He is the one who is the enjoyer, we are supposed to be enjoyed. Bhoktaram Yagya Tapsam, right? Bhoktaram Yagna Tapsam, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Just imagine, he is like, it's mentioned by the Lord Himself. He is the enjoyer. He's the ultimate beneficiary of all the yagnas, tapasyas, austerities, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. So he is the ultimate, he's the supreme controller of all the planets and even the demigods, Sarvalok. Lokas is the planets and the demigods also. And he is the well-wisher for us. So when a person understands this, then only the person will be satisfied in their life, because this is known as the ultimate peace formula. But if a person wants to imitate, then it is very difficult, because that is Maya then. Ultimately, what is Maya? That thinking oneself to be the enjoyer, that is Maya. So we should understand this. So that is why in this particular section, in this verse, what are we seeing? We are seeing that Mata Kunti is offering the prayers that's out of gratitude. Here also, what do we notice when we are talking about enviousness, jealousy, that we should always show gratitude towards others, right? So that is also one of the qualities. So ultimately, when we are imbibing the qualities, we are at least trying to go one step closer to the Lord. So that is what we are trying to do. And yeah, and sometimes what happens, even if knowingly, unknowingly mistakes also happen, and we might become judgmental, but that also we shouldn't do, because we do not know about the other person, what is their situation, or what is the kind of during that particular moment, what is the kind of moment that is going on for others. So that also helps us to understand. Yeah. So, and this
Yeah,
is bhakti,
being judging somebody is really very bad, no, Mataji. That's really bad because
no,
sometimes they don't
Mataji,
know.
then I think, yes, please, Mataji, please continue.
I said judging somebody without knowing the cause, what they are going through. It's very,
Exactly.
very bad. Sometimes, many
Very bad.
times, we have also come
True.
across. But to see when you judge somebody, you think it's something different, really bit different. We look at from a different angle.
Hmm.
So it is not fair also to judge anyone without knowing. It applies to us also. People, others also can judge us. So
Exactly,
without
Mataji. That is so true. That is why we cannot be judgmental, because
yeah,
again, when we are judging, who are we to judge? I mean, who
exactly,
has
yeah,
actually, when we are judging, this means we think ourselves to be superior than others. That is our false ego that is talking,
yes, yes,
It's only because of our false ego we feel that. We feel, okay, there are problems. We are trying to look for the problems, we are trying to find. That is fault finding, actually. So we shouldn't do that. Yeah. So. And this is bhakti, that what we have to do, we should understand that Lord Krishna, He is the enjoyer. And what is it? How can we serve the Lord? So there is a very beautiful thing that has been mentioned here in this particular verse, right? Rishikesh Rishikena Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. So what is bhakti? That He is the master of the senses. And what we have to do, we have to serve Him. you know Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tat paratve nirvalam. Like, these are the various designations. Even if we think, okay, we are the enjoyer or we are the bhokta, that is also some kind of upadhi we are trying to take or imbibe, the designation. So when we think ourselves that no, we are the eternal servant of the Lord, jivera sarupa hai krishna nitya rasa, right?
yes.
So when we try to understand that no, our Swarupa, our original constitutional position is to be an eternal servant of the Lord, and our only goal is to serve the Lord, then only we will understand that our senses are in our control, because we are trying to serve the master of the senses. Otherwise, what we are doing, we read it, Rishik means senses. Otherwise, what we are doing, We are making our senses and our mind as the master, isn't it? Whereas what we have to do, we have to serve the master of the senses, that is Lord, who is none other than Lord Shri Krishna, is Lord Rishikesh. So that is why it is mentioned bhakti is a relationship between the master and the servant. And the servant's duty is to serve the master. With respect to this enviousness, there is a beautiful example that comes from Ambrish Maharaj's pastime. So, when Durvasa Muni comes, and he is offended, because how is he offended actually? When Amrish Maharaj he was fasting, So Amrish Maharaj was fasting, and he was about to open his fast. That time Durvasa Muni appears, and he comes, and even after discussion with all the sages who were present there, with the sages and the saints, Maharaj Amrish decides to open the fast, And what did he actually take while opening the fast? Because he was fasting, right? And while he was fasting, he was fasting for 1 year, for one complete year he has fasted, and he was opening the fast now. And that particular fast was not for his own selfish motive or for his own personal sense gratification. No, he was a king, he was a Raj Rishi, and that was basically for the purpose for the entire citizens, for his entire uh, what do we call that kingdom, for all his people, he had that particular fast is going to benefit him. So when he was trying to open it only with the archman, with water, but still he felt that I am offended. That is what Durvasa Muni felt. He felt that he is offended, and so he says some, that you are not the right king and many things, and he says many things to Amrish Maharaj. And then what happens when he tries to pull off some a strand or a few strands of hair from his jata, and then there is a demon who comes, do you know that particular story? And when the demon he
Demon thing we don't know. We only know that
oh
he said he'll take a bath and come. So in the meantime, no, as he came, he just took a little water in the mouth. He got very angry.
he gets angry, and what happens, yes,
Process
if I
him.
have it here, let me check if I have it here right now. No. So, yeah, so a demon comes, and the demon wants to devour Amrish Maharaj. Sudarshan Chakra comes now for the protection of Amrish Maharaj. And Amrish Maharaj was standing with folded hands, He was standing with folded hands. So here, what do we see? Durvasa Muni was being envious, and he went to all the demigods. He even went to Brahmaji, he went everywhere. He was a mystic yogi, so he could have gone to Vaikuntha, he had that right also. But yes, he went, ultimately he went, he requested, he prayed to Lord, but what did Lord Narayan mention? He said, no, you have offended my devotee, and if you wish to really seek forgiveness, you have to go to Amrish Maharaj. So this is the story. Ultimately, he goes back, and it actually it took another 1 year for Durvasa Muni to go and then to come back to Amrish Maharaj, and he was still standing there at this in the same situation with folded hands, So this helps us to understand who is a pure devotee and what happens when a person becomes envious, And it's very beautiful, if you will go through it, that Amrish Maharaj, he requests Sudarshan Chakra that whatever pious deeds I have done and everything, So with respect to, I mean, I'm ready to just give up all those things, but you please forgive Amrish Maharaj. So very beautiful. So this helps us to understand that what who is a pure devotee. What is the relationship between a master and a servant? And thus the Lord is always ready to serve his pure devotees. So the servant's duty is to serve the master. So here Amrish Maharaj was serving the Lord, and the Lord also in turn was serving Amrish Maharaj. So this is the love, the reciprocation of the love between the master and the servant. Whereas the Lord is the master, Lord Shri Krishna, he is the master. That is why it is mentioned Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadhati Kaman. So the Lord is eternal. Even the living entities are also eternal, and He is conscious, and that is the reason why all of us are also conscious. He is the supreme conscious. Eko Bahunam. He is the one who is fulfilling all our. He is maintaining our life. He is fulfilling all our necessities, and that is the reason there is no scarcity. Just imagine there are so many animals, pigeons. There is an example which is given in our books, in the shastras, that even if a pigeon is there, a bird, what does a bird do? The pigeon will go, the pigeon will take a few grains, and it will pick up a few grains in its beak, and then it will fly away, right? It will only eat whatever is required till that point in time. It won't accumulate. But that is what is the problem with all of us, with the human beings, with the living entities. We eat, we keep, we have a habit of accumulating. So that is another problem, and this is the economic problem. Otherwise, the Lord is always there to provide to us, He is there. And that is the reason, because of this enviousness, because of jealousy, because of greed, because of the comparisons. And why this comparison is coming ultimately? Because we are treating others as different from us, whereas they are also living entities, they are also eternal part and parcel of the Lord. We don't understand it. So when we say, okay, we are self realized, or when we really want to go to that level of realization, this is what we need to have. The realization, actually, the realization of understanding that everyone, that brotherhood, that universal brotherhood is there, that everyone is eternal part and parcel of Lord Sri Krishna, and everyone is eternally related. So this is
Mataji,
the
can I
difference.
share a very short story connected to that about the pigeons?
Mm-hmm.
I saw it somewhere. Like a truck was passing by full of wheat bags. All of a sudden, one big wheat bag fell on the road, but they didn't know the truck went off. Then all of a sudden, the birds started coming, and they ate how much ever they wanted, and then they went. All of a sudden, one man passed by. When he saw the wheat bag, now the birds
Mm-hmm.
took only what it was like what they wanted, what was necessary. But when the man came, he looked this side and that side, and he picked up the entire bag and went home.
True, Madhavi, so true.
Yes, it's a very nice
Yes,
story. It
thank you.
really impressed me.
Yes, Madhaji. This is true, actually. Yeah, it's in there. Mentioned in our books here. True, Madhaji.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing that. So this is actually helping us to understand where are we lacking and which are the areas of improvement for us. So what are the reasons why we are still not able to go back to Godhead? This is one of the many reasons,
Anartha.
actually. Yeah,
Anarthas.
these are anarthas only, Mataji. So when we talk about anarthas, when we talk about the various stages of anarthas, so it starts with Shraddha, Adav Shraddha. When we have that faith, the person is having faith. When he has that faith, then he comes in association. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha is what? Association of the devotees. Slowly and steadily, when a person tries to understand about Lord Krishna and his relationship with the Lord, in association of devotees, what happens? Bhajan Kriya, together, what are we doing? When we are saying Bhajan Kriya, it's not only the Kirtan and Bhajan, it's following the four regulative principles, chanting minimum 16 rounds. The sadhana, attending Mangal Aartis, attending Srimad Bhagavatam sessions, performing the deity worship, everything which is a part of our bhajan kriya. That is why it is known as kriya, right? Everywhere, what do we see? Srila Prabhupada never mentioned devotion. He mentioned devotional service, because it is the service to the Lord Shri Krishna in devotion. Yeah, so this is what we understand. So after that, we have anartha nivritti. Slowly, gradually, when we start understanding realization, when we start advancing, we move to come to the stage of anartha nivritti. So after anartha nivritti, what do we have? Nishtha. Then there is that nishtha, confidence. And then we have ruchi, we get the taste for Krishna consciousness, because now we have that confidence, nishtha, ruchi, and then asakti. When we talk about asakti, so what kind of attachment are we having right now? We have the attachment for Lord Shri Krishna, for everything which is in relation with the Lord. It could be with Mangalarti, with Srimad Bhagavatam, with the association of everyone. So this is the way we get the attachment to the to everything which is related to the Lord. So that is attachment, that is asakti, and then we get bhava and prema. Those are the highest. I mean, even Bharat Maharaj was at the level of bhava, when he got, he got carried away by a deer. So he was at the stage of bhava, but he was the king, but just to bring up the pastime, and ultimately we have the prema, a person attains the prema for Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. So bhava is the ecstasy, devotional ecstasy. So these are the various stages. I believe we are not even, we, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha and Bhajan Kriya is what we are trying to do. We have so many anarthas, that anartha nivritti is like, there are so many things that are happening as a part of anartha nivritti also. Many people might be at a stage of anartha nivritti also. Every person is at a different stage, because every person has one-on-one connection. Every single person, every living entity has a direct one-on-one relationship with the Lord. So according to that, they are at different stages also. Yeah. Yes, we read it only up to here, right? Yes. Would someone like to continue from here, please? Yes, please.
If
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
desires,
Yes.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, okay,
Krishna.
okay. Carry
Yes. Mataji's, you can cover one paragraph each. Yes, thank
on.
you. Yes, please.
If Krishna desire, there may be ample supplies. In America, for example, there is an ample supply of everything needed. Although in other countries, this is not so far. So, for instance, when I went to Switzerland, I saw that everything there is imported. The only thing supplied locally is snow. This is all under Krishna's control. If one becomes a devotee, one will be amply supplied with food. And if one does not become a devotee, one will be covered with snow. Everything is under Krishna's control. So actually, there is no scarcity. The only scarcity is a scarcity of Krishna consciousness. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, please continue.
Okay, Mataji.
Padma Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Of course, the world is full of dangers. But Kunti Devi says, because Devaki is your devotee, you saved her from the distress imposed upon her by her envious brother. As soon as Devaki's brother heard that his sister's eighth son would kill him, he was immediately ready to kill Devaki. But Devaki's husband pacified him. It is the duty of a husband to protect his wife. And therefore, Devaki's husband said, my dear brother in law, why are you envious of your sister? After all, your sister will not kill you. It is the son who will kill you. That's the problem. So I shall deliver all the sons to you, and then you may do whatever you like with them. Why should you kill this innocent, newly married girl? She is your younger sister, and you should protect her, just as you would protect your daughter. Why should you kill her? In this way, he pacified Kamsa, who believed Vasudeva's word that he would bring all the sons to that if Kamsa wanted, he could kill them. Vasudeva thought, let me save the present situation. After all, if Kamsa later gets a nephew, he may forget this envy. But Kamsa never forgot. Instead, he kept Devaki and Vasudeva in prison for a long time at the what is at the Shiram,
Techiram.
and killed all the sons. Finally, Krishna appeared and saved Vasudeva and Devaki. Thank you, Mataji. Can I continue or somebody else want to
Yes,
teach?
Mataji, please continue. Yes, please.
Okay. Therefore, we must depend on Krishna, like Devaki and Kunti. After Kunti became a widow, the envious Dhritarashtra was always planning ways to kill her sons, the five Pandavas. Because by chance I was born blind, he thought, I could not inherit the throne of the kingdom, and instead it went to my younger brother. Now he's dead, so at least my son should get the throne. This is a materialistic propensity. One thinks I shall be happy, my sons will be happy, my community will be happy, my nation will be happy. This is extended selfishness. No one is thinking of Krishna, how Krishna will be happy. Rather, everyone is thinking in terms of his own happiness. How shall I how shall I be happy? How will my children, my community, my society, and my nation be happy? Everywhere we find this, we shall find this. Everyone is struggling for existence, not thinking of how Krishna will be happy. Krishna consciousness is very sublime. We should try to understand it from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and try to engage our senses for the service of the master of senses, Rishikesha Sevanam. Then we shall actually be happy. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Namaste.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. So what do we notice here? I mean, if we just discuss about this, like uh, there are ample supplies, but everything, as it is mentioned, right? Everything is under Lord's control, Lord Krishna's control. So you would have noticed, for a devotee, how it is that whenever it is required by the mercy of the Lord, at times, not always, it could be, it depends, but you would have noticed that when you have requested and the condition would have been totally opposite, but whatever you have been requesting, your request was fulfilled, that you were able to get that particular thing or that particular opportunity that you were looking for. So that always happens, and this is only why it's like because everything is under Krishna's control only. So it is also mentioned, no, he is the one who is the creator of all the material and spiritual world, right? Everything is emanating from him only. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. So what does the devotee do? The devotee is wise, as it is mentioned, buddha. So the devotee is so wise because the devotee understands that the Lord is the complete one who is in charge, who is the controller of everything, and everything is under his control. And so they worship the Lord with all their devotion, So that is why, and you remember there is an example which comes in the other books also, that a person, if they are looking for the bread, they will go and they will go to the church and they will request for the bread, And then this is an example which comes like there were a few people who came with a truck full of bread, and then they are saying, no, you should not pray to the Lord. Who is giving you bread? It is us only who are giving you bread. So now there are two things in this particular scenario. That one is they are providing because they have been inspired by the Lord. And the bread itself, how is it created? From where did that particular crop grow? It is coming, it is happening, everything is happening only by the mercy of the Lord only, right? The bread, they are able to prepare the bread because there have been sufficient rains, the crops were able to grow. And the second thing, they were able to come, those people, they were trying to convert the people into atheists. They should also understand they are able to come there and say this also only because Paramatma is sitting in their heart and he is inspiring them to say this. People don't understand this. So that is why it is mentioned everything is under Krishna's control. He is the one who is supplying with everything, to everyone. Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadhati Kaman. He is the one who is fulfilling all the desires, kamnas of every single entity in this entire universe. So that is what is mentioned. And then, yeah, and the world is also full of dangers, It is mentioned that this is Dukhalem Shashvatam. And not only that, this world is full of miseries and anxieties. No single person can be there who is free from any material and anxieties other than the pure devotees of the Lord, right? And that is what is mentioned that why did the Lord save Devaki? You saved her from the distress. Yes, so there are three ways we can understand that Lord always saves, So the three ways are one is the case wherein the devotee is not, the person is not seeking for the help, but the Lord still goes and saves the devotee. So one example of this is Ajamil, right? He was not desiring, but knowing unknowingly it happened, right? The second is, as we understand, when demons were coming to kill the Lord, when Kamsa was sending so many demons, still they got liberated, isn't it? We understand. And the third one is when the pure devotees, they are always under the shelter of the Lord only. So it is like the Lord will always save his devotees. So this is what is explained here also, like what kind of dangers are there. We see, we can, the world is full of so many problems. We cannot see, we cannot foresee what could happen next, within the next moment also we cannot tell. So I mean, every person is full of fear here. So, when we talk about the four major things, it is ahar, nidra, bhai, maithun. So, ahar, so these are the four problems which the person is trying to look forward, and these are very prominent, that is the food problem, the shelter problem, ahar, nidra. Then we have the fear problem. Everyone is fearful, so they keep on protecting their own companions, their own people. That is why it is mentioned. What do we notice? That my society, my children, my nation. So aham mameti, right? Mameti, mameti, like I am this body, because everyone is thinking from the bodily concept of life, bodily conception of life. So until and unless we come out of this, it's like we would notice, even for the neighbors, even for every other person, it's like when we start thinking them, when we start considering them to be associated with us, that is when we will start trying to advance ourselves in our consciousness also. So this is what we should understand, that it is not my nation, my community. We have seen this, how much it happens, right? When during the cricket matches, isn't it? In case if there are some kind of firecrackers bursting outside, you will know, okay, India is winning. Otherwise, you can't make out, right? I hope you would have also noticed the same thing. Even if you don't know there is a match happening today, you will get to know from by the cracking, I mean, by the
Yeah,
firecrackers. Isn't it?
firecrackers.
Yes, yes, Mataji. So much, it is so much so that even after so many things, people are only concerned with, oh, this is my country, they should win. They're not going with the concept of, okay, may the best team win. They will feel bad if you will say this. That also I've noticed, Mataji, that if you comment like this, may the best team win, that is also not, I mean, it's difficult for the people who are the fans of or ardent lovers of cricket,
But
they feel
Mataji,
bad,
but Mataji,
Yes,
sometimes that natural happiness comes to you, automatically when we win, when India wins. It's just natural.
that
Then
is
what do we
true.
do?
That is
We
true,
don't we
Mataji.
don't
That is
make
what.
we don't make an attempt to be happy. It automatically
Yes,
comes to us,
yes.
because we smile and then just the
Mm.
satisfaction sort of thing that happens. So
Yes,
how much
yes.
to control?
So, Mataji, that is like you are not forcing it to come. It's like since we are born here, that is why we understand if somebody is winning, okay, you're not indulged into that particular thing. You are not
Yeah,
engaged into it, and you're not hoping for it to happen, right? You're not wishing for
yeah,
it to happen. That is something like it came as a news to you, so you heard it. That's it, and then you got engaged in your other activities, right? That is another thing because you're not trying to put yourself into it
yeah.
in making efforts or making some attempts to make it happen, right, Mataji?
Earlier,
So
Mataji, I was a real fan of cricket. Whole day I'll sit and wait to see who wins, and I have to jump and clap and all that. And now I feel so stupid of me.
I think Mataji, most of us have crossed that stage. I hope so. So I
After
can
having this
understand. I can
knowledge,
relate.
Mataji, after having this knowledge, I have sort of drifted from this. Just ask who won the match. Okay, okay, fine. That's it. Lost interest, Mataji. That comes naturally in devotional service,
By Krishna's mercy.
transformation.
Mm, true. So these are the various advancement stages also, Mataji. The transformation happens. So many realizations. And I'm sure every devotee is having so many beautiful realizations because this is only by the mercy of the Lord that this can happen. And so we see from this pastime, so it is mentioned that he wanted to kill Devaki. And Kamsa, Devaki was very dear to Kamsa. Devaki was his sister, and she was very dear to him. But then, when he promised, no, Devaki's husband, sorry. Yeah, when he promised that, okay, why do you want to kill her? She is innocent. Okay, I will. He promised that, okay, I'm going to give you all the sons, even if it is the eighth son, but I promise that I will deliver all the sons to you, and then you can decide what you wish to do with them. So, in this way, when when Vasudev he made this particular promise to Kamsa, he was a bit pacified. And did you notice? He was okay with this. He went back but it is only by the association again he got carried away, and he came back, because he was like, earlier he was okay with the eighth child, that okay, you hand over me the eighth child. He was fine with that. But when he went back, the association which he was having was of the all the miscreants, all the miscreant kings, the kind of the people, the prime minister and the people who were giving him advice. The advice itself was like given by such people. So how can it be in the pure goodness, or in the form of or in the goodness mode? Just imagine. So our association matters a lot. That is very important. Not only that, the most important thing that we also notice from here is that the ladies, the women, they should always be given protection. So when they are young, they are always protected by their fathers, and when they get married, then they are protected by their husbands, and when they become old, in their old age, they are always protected by their kids, their sons. So this is what we understand from our Shastras. Our Vedic scriptures help us to always, they always ensure how the protection has to be provided, I mean, the women should always be protected. Yeah, and what do we notice here? So what do we see here? That everywhere we shall find this, we are struggling for existence, not thinking of how Krishna will be happy. So, Krishna consciousness is so sublime. How it is sublime? Because it is very satisfactory. And it is sukham kartum avyayam. It is so pleasing. It is very easy to perform. And it is shubhada, it is full of auspiciousness, and it is, what happens? We can only understand this from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, because they are our Bhagavad Gita. It is just like a manual for us, because it helps us to understand where exactly we should try to engage our senses. It is known as Pancham Purusharth is this is Pancham Ved, Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is the Pancham Purusharth. So a person should not try to go for Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, which is basically known as the cheating dharmas. All these are Ketav dharmas, and so it has been rejected by Srimad Bhagavatam, because a person who is really looking for attaining the perfection of the human life, they should only ultimately they should only target for the association of the pure devotees in the form of and the association of the Lord, how in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And you would have noticed, okay, let's take an example. uh, Monday to Friday, in case if you're working, or otherwise also, you would have noticed Monday to Friday, it is like, okay, people are very busy in their office, they're busy with their work. Every Friday, because since Saturday, Sunday is a weekend, they look for some kind of, relief in their life, isn't it? Okay, I don't want to continue with the office work. Let me take rest. Have you noticed that? And they plan to go out. They plan their weekends, specifically if I have to quote it, like they wish
Yes,
to
yes,
plan their
Mataji.
weekends. Okay, let me go to some friends' place, some relatives, or let's go out to dine or whatever it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Have you noticed that? Yeah.
yes, Mataji.
And ultimately, as soon as this Monday is coming, like from Sunday itself in the evening, they will start getting that feeling, oh, Monday is coming. Oh, I have to go back to continue with my old routine. So what is that? This is like, chapal sukh. It's not eternal. It's flickering happiness. And this is like known as bhoga and tyaga, according to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that we are trying to enjoy bhoga, and then we are trying to renounce. So Monday to Friday, we are working, and ultimately what we are trying to do, every Saturday, Sunday, we wish to take a break, and ultimately again go back to the same routine. No happiness is there. It's difficult to find that satisfaction. Why? We engage our senses in n number of things, but it is not possible because all those engagements are material. Only in spiritual engagement we can give some pleasure and satisfaction to our senses, and that is what is mentioned here. That when we try to engage our senses in the service of the master of the senses, Rishikesh, right?
Mm.
Rishikena Rishikesh Sevanam, then we shall actually be happy. And this is what we understand, like we should always be engaged in the eternal service of the Lord. And how can we engage ourselves? There are so many nine limbs of bhakti are there, isn't it? Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. So these are the various limbs of bhakti. We can discuss this later because of the time constraint. And then we also have something known as ABCD, right? Wherein we talk about this is given in the five most potent forms of devotional service. You can talk about association of the devotees. One is association of the devotees, right? B is the books, Srimad Bhagavatam. C is the chanting, we should always stick to our chanting all our rounds, minimum 16 rounds of chanting. And then we have prasadam and the deity worship. So these are the five most important forms of devotional service according to Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So with this, I'll just end this session and please share your feedback, reviews, and realizations. We can take it
Mataji,
up.
I want to ask you something. You said that Srimad Bhagavatam is Pancham. What is it? Pancham and Bhagavad
Mataji,
Gita?
that's Pancham Ved, Mataji.
Pancham Ved. And the other one, Bhagavad
Pancham Ved.
Gita, is Pancham
We
Purusha?
have four Vedas. We have four Vedas. Rig
Acha,
Ved,
okay.
Yajur Ved, Sam Ved, and Athar Ved. And this is the Pancham Ved, fifth Veda. Yeah.
Okay. And the
And
other one,
Pancham Purusharth. It is also known
Pancham
as Pancham
Purusharth.
Purusharth. We have four Purusharthas, right? Which every person is trying to attain as a part of Karma Kanda, it comes. That is Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Devotee is not looking for it, Okay, it's basically a person. When we start with our journey, we try to do some dharma. We follow the religious principles, right?
Yeah,
When a person gets, then dharma is artha for the economic development. So that is artha, but ultimately attaining
yeah,
artha. Then why we are attaining artha, economic development? Why is it needed? For kama, for the sense gratification.
yeah,
And when a person gets frustrated by ultimately in this life, okay, I do not want anything, then he wants to go and attain moksha, liberation, which is merging oneself in the Brahman, merging into the Brahman. But a devotee is not
mhm,
looking for that. The devotee is only looking for the eternal service of the Lord. So this is what
okay.
is Pancham Purushartha, Srimad Bhagavatam,
So the other one, Mataji,
serving
you
the
said
Lord.
Ahara Nidra, because in Hindi, I want to know. Ahara Nidra,
आहार
the fourth
निद्रा
portion.
भय मैथुन.
Maya?
Sleep, आहार निद्रा भय मैथुन. Sleeping, eating, mating, and defending.
Acha, okay, it is that. Okay.
That one, Mataji. Yes.
Yeah,
And
okay.
Hari here, the word Hari in this verse, it says there are two meanings, right? Hari. It's is it here in this verse?
No,
No,
Mataji,
this
I
is
think.
for Rishikesh. Sorry, I think it's in the
Yeah.
next one. Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा
Thank you,
सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटिः
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Jai
Krishna.
Lord
Dandavat
Premanande Hari
Pranam.
Hari Bol. Thank you everyone. Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam. We can take up
Dandavat
the
Pranam.
questions if we have any. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Sadar Pranam. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you Mataji.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna
Mataji. Hare
Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna.
Thank you everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Dandavat.
Mataji. Shall I end the meeting, Mataji, if we have no questions?
Hare
We don't
Krishna.
have.
Dandavat pranamam.
Okay,
Yes,
sure. Thank you
Mataji.
so much. Hare Krishna Mataji.